Hello! You're playing an interactive story app by BH Media. In the middle of a forest, there was a beautiful girl named Rapunzel, who was locked in a high tower by a wicked witch. One day, a prince appeared and fell madly in love with her. Let's read the fairy tale Rapunzel and join the prince to save this lovely girl. Once upon a time, there were a man and a woman who had always wished for a child. The window at the back of their house overlooked a beautiful garden full of the finest flowers and herbs. However, no one dared to go into it because it belonged to a witch named Gothel. Wow, what a beautiful garden! One day, when the wife was standing by the window, she saw a fresh and green herb in the garden. She wanted to eat some of this herb. It was her greatest desire, which increased every day. Then she fell ill. The man loved his wife very much, so he decided to go into the garden and bring her some of the herb. When it was getting dark, the husband climbed over the wall into the garden and grabbed a handful of the herb. He took it to his wife, who ate it happily.
Here is that herb that you want to eat. Enjoy.
This herb is what I need. Oh, it's so tasty. The following day, the wife wanted to eat this herb again and begged her husband to take it to her. So the man set out once more.
How dare you climb over into
when
my
he had
garden
climbed over the wall, he
steal
saw the
my
witch
herb?
standing before him. The witch became very angry and blustered at the man. Terribly afraid, he said,
Please forgive me. I had to have this herb. My wife saw it in your garden, and she will die if she doesn't eat it.
Then the witch said, You can take some of this herb, but only under one condition. You must give me your child after it's born. I'll care for it like a mother. In his fear, the man agreed to everything.
What nerve you have! How dare you climb over into my garden like a thief and steal my herb!
Please, please, forgive me. My wife will die if she doesn't eat this herb.
When the wife gave birth, the witch
I'll name
appeared
her
and
Rapunzel.
took the baby away, though the poor couple cried and pleaded with her. Then the witch gave the child the name of Rapunzel.
My goodness, please, please don't take my baby away.
No, give her back to me! Give her back to me! Rapunzel grew into the most beautiful child in the world. When she was 12 years old, the witch locked her in a tower in a forest. The tower had neither a door nor a stairway, but only a window at the top. When the witch wanted to enter the tower, she stood below and called out, Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Let down your hair! You know, Rapunzel had beautiful, long hair that shone like gold. When she heard Gothel's voice, Rapunzel let her braided hair fall down to the ground, and the witch would climb up by it.
Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Let down your hair!
One day, after a few years, a prince rode through the forest and passed by the tower. He heard a voice singing so beautifully from the tower that he stood still and listened. The prince wanted to enter the tower, but he found no door. So he returned home. But he fell in love with that voice so deeply that he went out into the forest every day and listened to it. One time, when the prince was standing behind an old tree, he saw the witch come up. Then he saw how Rapunzel let down her long hair and how the witch climbed up by it and went into her.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair.
Is that braided hair the ladder into the tower? I'll try climbing it. The next day, when it began to grow dark, the prince went to the tower and called out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair!" Immediately the hair fell down and he climbed up. When she saw him, Rapunzel was frightened, for she had never seen a man before. But the prince began speaking so kindly to her and told her how her singing had entered into his heart and how he wished to see her. Then Rapunzel lost her fear and the prince proposed to her. She thought to herself, "I certainly like him much better than old Mother Gothel." So she said yes. And they were married. Every time the prince came, he brought a bit of silk with him, so that Rapunzel could weave a ladder with it. When the ladder was finished, they would climb down and run away.
Don't be afraid, please. I've fallen deeply in love with your singing. I just wanted to see you.
The witch knew nothing of all this, until once Rapunzel said to her, "Mother Gothel, how is it that you climb up here so slowly, whereas the prince is with me in a moment?"
At this, the witch flew into a rage and cried, "You godless child! I thought I had hidden you from the whole world, and yet you've cheated me!"
The witch grabbed Rapunzel's beautiful hair and snip-snap cut it off. The lovely braids lay on the ground. She was so angry that she took Rapunzel into a desert place where she had to live in misery.
Mother Gothel, please, please forgive me. I promise not to cheat you again.
How dare you cheat me? Let's see if you can meet your prince without your long hair.
Then the witch came back to the tower and tied the cut-off hair to the hook of the window. When the prince came and called out as usual, she let the hair down. He climbed up, but instead of his beloved Rapunzel, he found the witch looking at him with wicked eyes. She cried mockingly,
"Aha! You came for your darling! But the sweet bird sits no longer in the nest and sings no more. And you, I will make sure you won't see her again."
In his despair, the prince fell down from the tower. He became blind, for the thorns into which he fell pierced his eyes.
Rapunzel, I'm here with you.
Oh! Ha ha ha! The cat got that bird, and you will be blind. Ah!
From then on, the prince wandered about in the forest, eating nothing but roots and berries, and doing nothing but weeping over the loss of his dearest Rapunzel.
Ah, strawberries!
Rapunzel, where are you? The prince wandered about and reached the desert place where Rapunzel lived with her twins,
I worried about you so much.
and a girl. When he approached, Rapunzel recognized him. She ran towards him, fell into his arms, and wept. Amazingly, when her tears touched his eyes, they became clear, and he could see again. The prince took Rapunzel and their kids to his kingdom. They were joyfully received and lived happily ever after. That's the end of the story, Rapunzel. Kids, if you have conviction, energy, and a true love, you can change your life and stay away from bad things. I hope you will always keep your dedication to get over all the challenges and difficulties in your life. Goodbye, and see you again.
My goodness, I can see again. Thank you so much, Rapunzel.
Look, he's our
Dad!
father.